Hi, I'm Katie Medley. This is my speech. This is my husband, Gideon. He's my audience. Okay. When I was a newlywed, I couldn't wait to have children. I had visions of my adorable children buckled happily in their car seats in the back of my sleek, shiny new SUV. Well, now I am a mother of 4 children, ages 10 to 4, and I can assure you that those visions of driving happily in an SUV are gone. We own a minivan now, and it was recently in the shop. When I got it back from the shop, I about cried for joy. Give me a minivan or give me death. I love my minivan. So some of you may not have children yet, but I think you will be surprised at the ways a minivan can provide comfort and convenience to your life. I know a minivan doesn't compare to an SUV when it comes to style, but what they lack in style, they make up for in utility, my friends. And also, the newer minivans really are pretty easy on the eyes. Today, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why a minivan is better than an SUV. Reason number 1 is sliding doors. Reason number 2 is ample cargo space. And reason number 3 is that a minivan is much more economical than an SUV. So reason number 1, sliding doors. Minivans have sliding doors on both sides that you can open with the remote or from a button on the dash. An article on the review website Auto Bytel says that among the differences between minivans and SUVs, the doors are not just an important distinction, they are the defining distinction. Sliding doors just makes so much more sense if you are going to be transporting people. Swinging doors, in contrast, are heavier, they're harder to open and close, they're easier to smash fingers in, and they are liable to be swung open into adjacent vehicles, causing damage to your vehicle and others. I know when we owned an SUV, my little boy loved having the big boy job of opening his door by himself, and he would always be at risk of smashing it into other cars, and I always had to fight with him about letting him do it or not do it, and it became such a big issue that it just made everything take so much more time and was so much more difficult than it needed to be. Reason number 2 that a minivan is better than an SUV is storage space. We've all been there the night before a trip and you're playing Tetris in your trunk with all of your luggage, and then you realize it's not all going to fit. And then you're forced to choose. What do you leave home, or what do you put on the lap of your child for the 5-hour drive to Grandma and Grandpa's house? It's really not an ideal situation. If you are going to invest in a vehicle to transport you and your family, then a minivan is the smarter choice. Auto News said that minivans are one of the most practical vehicles on the planet. In an SUV, the seating is not adjustable, but in a minivan, you can slide seats forward or back, side to side, you can take a seat out or even fold them into the floor, revealing more cargo space. US News said that when looking at the overall interior room, minivans hold more than 15 extra inches of space than the average 3-row SUV. I know in my family, we love taking trips, and our minivan can hold me, my husband, and my 4 children. That's 6 bodies, and it can hold our tent for a whole weekend of camping and everything we need, or all of our luggage for a trip to Grandma and Grandpa's, or even just a day trip to the beach. So now that you can picture how easy it is to get your brood in and out of a minivan and how much storage space you'll have for all the things you need, let's talk about how cost-effective it will be to take that long-awaited family road trip. The 3rd reason that a minivan is better than an SUV is that minivans are much more economical than SUVs. For starters, the minivan has a much lower purchase price. The fully loaded, newer Honda Odyssey will set you back about $48,000 according to the manufacturer's website. Compare that to the leading SUV, which would be the Yukon XL Denali. One of those will set you back about $77,000. And the second reason why a minivan is much more economical than an SUV is gas mileage. When it comes to gas mileage, a minivan will beat an SUV any day. AutoReviewHub.com says that even though minivans are larger, they're more car-like, which results in better fuel economy when compared to a midsize or larger SUV. SUVs also have larger engines, which can use a lot of gas. If you're looking for a vehicle that can transport you and your family, at least more than 4 people, chances are you're going to be doing your fair share of driving. why not save some money on gas mileage on the way? You've probably got plenty of other things you can use that money for. I know when my family switched from an SUV to a minivan, we were pleasantly surprised with how much money we saved. We could take day trips out to the Oregon coast from our home in Portland, and it wouldn't break the bank even when gas prices were high. Fuel efficiency just matters. If you have a fuel efficient vehicle now, you might not pay attention to the price at the pump as often. But if you have a gas guzzler, then you know the familiar cringe every time you pull up to the pump. Most minivans average 28 miles per gallon on the highway and 19 miles per gallon on the city. And the average SUV averages 21 miles per gallon on the highway and 15 in the city. Gas prices affect everyone, especially families who are hoping to stretch those dollars for soccer camp and ballet lessons, not to mention Christmases and birthdays. Don't let overwhelming gas prices stop you from doing what you need to do with your money. The fuel efficiency and low purchase price of a minivan will help you to put those dollars where they matter most. So whether you need to put the seats down for an epic IKEA haul or load everyone into the minivan for a really fun adventure, the minivan has got you covered. Even though a minivan can't compare with the style of an SUV, its family-friendly features like sliding doors, ample cargo space, and excellent gas mileage make it the leading vehicle for families. So if any of you have had visions similar to mine of your adorable children riding super happy and content in the back of an SUV, let me assure you that that vision will never be a reality without the family-friendly features of a minivan. Do yourself a favor and make the best choice that you can make as a parent. Buy yourself a minivan. Create the most possible convenience and comfort amidst the chaos of parenthood. Then you'll be able to grab that remote, open those sliding doors, easily buckle your kids into their car seats, fill the tank up with gas, put the groceries in the trunk, and drive off into the sunset knowing that it's not costing you a fortune. Thank you.